Contact the Divine. As conscious beings, it matters very much what consciousnesses we contact and allow our consciousness to come in contact with. A cloth becomes the color of the dye into which it is dipped. So too with the mind and its many shades. The heart becomes like unto that which it loves. Where our attention goes, where we have given our attention to go, is where it will go or tend to go again in the future. There is no neutral intake, no passive reception. We are influenced by all, by every last thing we let in the gates. A habit rules us until we are changed. It's no surprise what we are as a culture when we look at what we let in to our consciousness. A diet of conspiracy theories makes conspiratorial and paranoid. A diet of fame and fortune makes ungenerous and shallow. A diet of filth and distraction makes unfocused and perverted. A diet of argument and controversy makes combative and uncompromising. A diet of chaos makes fragmented and frantic. The diets of a culture based on desire and ego bring loneliness, disappointment, and misery. A diet of falsehood and false movements which breeds false lives. It means an endemic degradation of what's possible. Exposed to a world so fed, malnourished, and overstuffed, it is perhaps a wonder we are not even more degraded than we are. A testament to our basic goodness and to the strength of consciousness to withstand what is rude and crass and below the dignity of our true nature. But still the exposure works its damage nonetheless. If not by an outright squandering and sapping of energies or psychological depression, then subliminally in the twisting of our mind to fit the darkness, or at least by omission of what could have transpired had we been in contact instead with the light. Few know or fully appreciate the value of protecting the consciousness from what lowers it, from what sullies or distorts or consigns to forgetting the deeper experiences and epiphanies had in life. So often the opposite course is taken, a choice made to let the shallower and angrier, or more selfish and hateful, or the doubting and wasteful influences in. And so the consciousness takes on those colors and colors the world right back with them, creating a culture of self-disgrace and disregard barely emerged from unconsciousness and still caught in the forces of the ignorance impeding individual and collective growth in consciousness of our true nature. Whereas, if the consciousness chose resolutely to contact only those influences which brought it higher and more light and generosity and wideness of understanding and vision and self-abiding delight, an entirely other culture could be created, one of exchanges of conscious selfhood, of our true being as living portions or vessels of the one divine, imbued with the knowledge and the force of the Godward manifestation. A first major step would be to decide and uphold the decision to reject whatever draws away, to any degree, the consciousness from the grounds of light ever gained, and, in the space freed by the exclusion of degrading influences, to increase in magnitude the contrary influences, bringing self-knowledge and love for the divine, and compassionate regard for all creatures in God. The rejection demands a ruthlessly honest evaluation, constantly renewed, of what helps and hinders that consciousness growth, what is a false movement of desire and ego, and unbeneficial or at best idle pleasure, and what is our soul's true movement in the direction of our highest life and kindness, joy and mystic potential. The increase calls for sincerity in all our choosings, all our conscious contacts, and the will to meet any resistance to that movement with patience and cheer, trusting that what God has started in us, He will complete. Consciousness is most greatly strengthened and focused, widened and psychicized and divinized by turning inward and above, away from surface reckonings and the external self altogether, to live and act and exist more and more from our inner being. An indispensable aspect and aid in this quest is to reevaluate all our surface activities and reprioritize our outer being so that it is more and more engaged in the genuinely enlightening activities which by their very nature broaden the consciousness into the natural cosmic expanse, or turn the consciousness inward to contact and bring forth the soul, or turn it upwards to contact the highest self and the divine light and force. A diet of the spiritual and bright brings peace to our members, light to our mind, love and compassion to our hearts. A diet of the essential delivers us to our essence and renders us essential to ourselves and to others, and to a new culture dedicated to discovering the essence in each and in the all. When consciousness contacts the highest, sincerely, deliberately, surrendered, it is conformed to its highest qualities and possibilities, a greater creativity and dynamic force, a calmer basis within to act or not act, a purer light of integrating vision, and a delightfulness in being that is self-abiding and not dependent on external means. Step by step, the consciousness can be renewed and uplifted by this purification, utterly changed by its consecration to the Supreme and to the supreme good of its manifestation. It then gradually becomes a contact point in the world for the divine consciousness and for its work. For then the instrument is ready. The worker in the fields of heaven on earth is ready to be nothing but what the earth and its inhabitants need to contact and reveal to themselves the nature of their own divinest truth, that they might manifest in full consciousness that spark of the eternal that they are, the bliss that is forever God.